What's up, guys? Tony here from Tony's Toolbox. So we're going to be trying something a little bit new today. First of all, I'd like to apologize for the lack of new content on the channel. I'm sorry, not much has been breaking, which is a blessing for me. It means all the equipment's running well, but unfortunately for the channel, it means I don't have much to do. So I just got off work a little bit ago. I'm still quite dirty and all that. Just parked the equipment in the garage. I'm here to shoot a new video. I especially want to apologize to all the new subscribers. We've had quite an influx in the well, for a channel my size, it's kind of a big deal. We got like 40 or 50 new subscribers in the last couple months, and I haven't even made a video. So, welcome one and all. I actually went back in to some of my older videos to read some of the previous questions that maybe I never got around to, and I want to try something new today. And if this is a terrible idea and everybody hates it, please let me know right away, and I'll never make one of these again, I swear. But I want to try something new, and I guess we'll call them Tony Talks. And if you have a better name for them, please let me know in the comments. I'm not a super creative person, as you can tell from the quality of my channel. But essentially what they're going to be is they're just questions that I get in the comment sections throughout different videos, and please feel free to compile more in the comments in this video. So I have a backlog of them to address when there's slow periods like now, where I want to produce content, I don't have anything to film for you guys. So when there's slow times like this, I can go into that well and dig something up that we can talk about, you know, for 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, where it's not really me showing you how to do something or whatever. It's more us just chatting. So the question at hand today is, somebody asked me how I got started. Now, this question's way back. This was like 8-9 months ago at this point, but I'm trying to go to the first ones first, and I'll just kind of get my way closer to present day. Now, in my opinion, because they didn't actually specify, that could be one of two things. That could be, how did I get started in the repair portion of what I know, or it could be how I started collecting tools. So we'll actually talk about both quickly. If you need me to go in more depth, I can in the comments, or maybe I can make a part 2 to this. I don't want to drag it on too long if this doesn't interest anyone. I don't want to just ramble for 20 minutes. That's not my intention. So how did I get started? Well, my father actually started this company back in the 70s. We're one of the first landscaping companies around, at least in our neck of the woods. So I grew up with this stuff around me from a very young age. My father also had the mentality, he's pretty handy with his hands. I far surpassed him at this point, but he's handy enough, but he was of the belief that when something even started giving a little bit of trouble to him, it was just not worth it, because we are super dependent on the equipment starting every day. This is not something that like right now is ideal, that nothing's breaking. When stuff starts breaking, it's too big of a pain. Now he lets a lot more of it go because he knows I'm going to end up fixing it. But when he was by himself, when I was too young, one of a few things would happen as soon as a machine started giving him trouble. He'd either store it for parts or slash a backup and buy a brand new one. He'd sell it, or he'd trade it in. What that ended up doing is it compiled quite a bit of, a lot of half-running-ish, equipment that were either donors or just waiting to get sent to the repair shop when he had a chance, or maybe he was going to tinker them with them, or whatever. Whatever the case may be, there was quite a bit of equipment always around me since I was very, very young. And my dad was very okay with me tinkering. He let me play as much as I wanted to with any of the stuff, and the stuff always fascinated me from when I was really young. So, I mean, I just started tearing stuff apart. I'm pretty self-taught, in all honesty. I never took any formal classes. I'm not ASE certified or anything like that. I do know what I'm doing. I've talked about that in plenty of videos. I think I've shown that through some of the repair videos. When something's too big for me, I have no problem admitting, like, hey, this is beyond my expertise. I'm going to let a pro do it. What I feel, and this isn't knocking anyone out there, and this is just my personal thing, is if somebody else can do it, I can do it too. I can figure it out. You know what I mean? That's what YouTube's for. I've learned plenty of things from YouTube myself, not so much in my field, but when I'm doing certain things, like I had that HVAC repair. I'm not an HVAC guy. I watched a few videos, I figured it out, and the thing's been running. You know what I mean? It worked well the rest of the winter. So that's the power of YouTube. You know what I mean? So that is how I got started with the lawn stuff. It's always been around, and my dad was, especially like when a motor blew up, he was just like, yeah, go ahead, because he was just going to throw it away anyway. So you might as well let me take it apart, see what the hell was going on inside, and, then throw it away. If it threw a rod or cracked a piston or whatever. I did take some automotive classes in high school. You didn't really learn much, not going to lie. Not because I didn't learn anything because I wasn't paying attention. They were like teaching us how to do like brake jobs and oil changes and crap that I've known how to do since I was a little kid. And it's just like, okay, it was an easy A, sure. I'm not going to complain about stuff like that, but I didn't actually advance my education through any formal education. It was just me learning by doing, researching online, reading textbooks before the internet became as affluent as it is now, and just mainly learning by doing, trial and error over and over and over. A lot of the stuff I feel so comfortable doing because I've done it 100 times. It's probably like a specialist in the automotive field, if any of you are watching, where it's just like, when you just do suspension all day, every day, you barely got to look anymore. You know what I mean? And when you try to explain to somebody, it's like, what do you mean? You just go like this and it's done. But then you have to tear apart a transmission. It's like, ooh. So, the tool collection, let's move on to that. So when I used to tear apart my father's old equipment, I used to use his stuff. This was back when 99% of stuff was made in America, and we still have all those tools. So he's got a lot of cool old stuff, and I can't wait to get it completely handed down to me in a couple more years, but right now it's still his. But I used to use all that stuff, and I could see him like being okay with it because I was his son, but now I get it. Now that I'm older, you don't want people touching all your tools and putting them back in the wrong area and not wiping them down and all these other things. Like, to go buy your own stuff. So as soon as I was old enough, I got a job. One of my first part-time jobs was at Sears, in the tool department, and so I used my discount. I bought one of my first toolbox on discount, which was, I've talked about it a few times in other videos. It was like the first big purchase that I really, really worked hard for in my life. And I also bought one of those giant monster sets. I'm not talking about that crap they sell now. Back then they had different sets. They don't even offer them anymore. It's like 500-600 some odd pieces. It was like almost everything they made. And all that stuff, I still have it to this day. The tool collecting just evolved over time. A lot of stuff, like, I've moved on to different brands now that Craftsman overseas. I'm not going to tackle that today. Sorry if that offends anyone. I just, I don't think it's right to charge U.S. made prices for Chinese tools. Chinese tools have a place in the world. They really, really do. I have some. They do what they're supposed to do, but you're not supposed to be paying that much for them. They're supposed to be significantly cheaper. That's why Harbor Freight's such a successful franchise. But nowadays, I just moved on to so many different things because I have so much crap, because I buy a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's cheaper to just buy a tool to do it that one thing than calling the guy. That's happened a lot in my life too, where, that's why I have like plumbing tools and stuff. It was just to fix a pipe here and there. You had to buy the tool, but the $30 or $40 for the wrench was a lot cheaper than calling in the guy. And now I have the wrench forever. Doesn't mean I use it a lot, but it did help me out at one time. Now I see myself moving on to higher and higher quality stuff. When I was younger, I didn't mind when a wrench slipped and I'd bust my knuckle. When you're younger, it's just like, cool, I got a bloody wrist, or, oh, check it out. It's just like scars are awesome or whatever. When I was a teenager, I don't know why. Fucking teenagers are idiots. I was no exception. But when you get older, that shit hurts. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want wrenches to slip. You don't want screwdrivers to slip. So you just like, I wasn't going to throw away all the stuff I've acquired when I was younger. But when I was younger, I bought the best I could afford. I was working for what, $7-8 an hour? I was like, what the hell are you going to buy? Now I'm older, I'm making more money, and I buy better quality stuff. But the other stuff is still here. It just doesn't really get used much. But it does me no harm to sit in a drawer its entire life. It's there if I need it. It's comforting. Doesn't mean I use it or need to sell it or need to get it out of here. I have the room. It's A-okay with me. besides that, I'm still buying. I'm always acquiring. Some new one of these days I'll make an update because the toolbox tour is so out of date now. There's been so many more purchases that, but whatever. We'll get to that another day. So, I think that's it. That's kind of how I got started working on stuff, was just tinkering. And I've been collecting since I was very young. My grandfather's handed me down stuff. My uncle's handed me down stuff. I'm about to inherit all my dad's stuff in a couple of years. Not because he's approaching death, just because he's approaching retirement. He's just like, I don't need any of this crap anymore. So I'm going to have even more stuff. But, yeah. That's kind of how the tool collection got started. I've used it all at one point or another. I don't buy just to buy. I don't buy to have it. You know what I mean? I either needed it one time and, I have stuff like that. I have a lot of stuff like that I've used one or two times. And a lot of the other stuff I use quite a bit. So, I think that's it. So yeah, let's end it there. That's around the 11-minute mark. That's good enough. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know. I'll make more, and please feel free to ask more questions in the comments so I can know what to talk about for Tony's talk number 2. If you just absolutely hated this, that's cool too. I'll never make one again. It's no sweat off my back. I'm just trying to keep you guys entertained. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you guys next time. Bye.